Okay, so today we're starting on workbook page 495, and we are going to learn about equivalent expressions. So let's start with some vocabulary. So it says, when addition or subtraction signs separate an algebraic expression into parts, each part is called a term. The numerical factor of a term that contains a variable is called the coefficient. So it's saying a number that is in front of a variable is called a coefficient. A term without a variable is called a constant. So if you have a term that's just a number, that's called a constant. Lastly, we have like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variables, such as x, 2x, and 3x are like terms because they all have an x. So in this expression, 3x plus 7 plus x, there's three terms. So everything that's separated by an addition or a subtraction symbol is a term. So 3x is a term, 7 is a term, and x is a term. 3x and x are like terms because they both have an x. 7 is a constant because it doesn't have any variable. So now let's try labeling this expression. So in this expression, 4n, 2n, and 9 are the terms. So there's three terms in this expression. 4n and 2n are like terms because they both have an n. They have the same variable. And then lastly, the number 9 is a constant. That is a term with just a number. We also learned coefficients. So a coefficient is a number in front of a variable. So 4 is a coefficient because it's in front of a variable, and 2 is a coefficient because it's in front of a variable. So down at the bottom it says, Andrew's mother gave him a computer game and $10 for his birthday. His aunt gave him 2 computer games and $5. The expression x plus 10 plus 2x plus 5, where x represents the cost of each game, can be used to represent Andrew's birthday gifts. What is the coefficient of the term 2x? So again, coefficient is the number in front of the variable, so the coefficient is just 2. Number 2, how many terms are in this expression? So terms are every part of the expression that's separated by an addition or a subtraction symbol. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 terms in this expression. Now we're on workbook page 498, and we're going to practice simplifying expressions. So you can multiply something with a variable with something without a variable. So for example, number 1 is 5 times 6x. So this means 5 times 6 times x. So all of this is multiplication. So because it's all multiplication, we can use the associative property to move the parentheses. And then we could combine 6 times 5 as 30, bring down the x. And then 30 times x, the simplest way that you would write it is just 30x. So that would be your simplified form. Number 2, for addition and subtraction, you can only add or subtract like terms. So like terms have to have the same variable. So 2x plus 7x, those are like terms and can be combined to get 9x. Because if you have 2 x's and you're adding another 7 x's, you have 9 x's in total. And then you bring down what's left over. So this is a plus 5y. Those cannot be added because this has an x and this has a y. It's like apples and oranges. You can't combine them. They're 2 different variables. They are not like terms. So the final answer here is 9x plus 5y. Number 3. So as you can see, we cannot add 2x and 5y in the parentheses because x and y are not like terms. But what we can do to simplify is get rid of the parentheses. To get rid of the parentheses, we can use the distributive property. So that would give us 4 times 2x plus, don't forget, distribute the 4 again, 4 times 5y. Now remember, in between here is also just multiplication. So you can multiply 4 times 2 to get 8, bring down your x, plus 4 times 5, 20, bring down your y. Now you cannot add x and y, so you leave it as 8x plus 20y. So just to quickly review, you can multiply something without a variable with something with a variable, but you cannot add or subtract two things that don't have the same variable. Number 4, factor 35x plus 28y. So remember, we learned you first have to find the GCF of 35 and 28, which is 7. So I'm going to divide out a 7. So when I rewrite this with a 7 divided out, this would be 7 times, now to get 35x, I would times 5x plus, now I want to divide out a 7 from here. So I would have to get 4y left over. So now if I take out that 7, put it outside the parentheses, what I'm left with is 5x plus 4y. 5x plus 4y. And that's our factored version. Number 5, Michaela bought 5 skirts that were X dollars each. 3 of the 5 skirts came with a matching top for an additional $9 each. Write and simplify an expression that represents the total cost of her purchase. So she bought 5 shirts in total, but 3 of the 5 shirts cost X dollars for the shirt plus $9 for the matching top. So this is the cost of 3 of the shirts. Then the other 2 shirts, she didn't get the matching tops, so she just paid the cost of the shirts, which again is X dollars. So now to simplify this, we would have to distribute. So 3 times X is 3X plus 3 times 9 is 27. Bring down the 2X. Now we could combine like terms. So 3X plus 2X is 5X. And then bring over what's left over, 5x plus 27. So this would be the simplified expression. Number 6, the gift bag from Claire Cosmetics includes 5 bottles of nail polish and 2 tubes of lip gloss. Use P to represent the cost of each bottle of nail polish and G to represent the cost of each tube of lip gloss. Write and simplify an expression that represents the cost of 8 gift bags. So one gift bag has 5 bottles of nail polish, and those cost P dollars each, plus 2 tubes of lip gloss that cost G dollars each, and we are buying 8 gift bags. So this would be the expression. So now to simplify, we would have to distribute 8 times 5P is 40P. Plus 8 times 2G is 16G. And this would be our simplified expression.